And we want to recognize the graduates from the Faculty of Education. Faculty of Education, congratulations. Graduates from the Faculty of Industrial Art and Design, are you there? And the next for recognition is the graduates from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Another chance. The graduates from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, let's recognize you, please. And finally, there is a great faculty, the Faculty of Business and Management Studies. Thank you, the Faculty of Business, Administration and Management Studies. Mr. Chancellor, St. Lawrence University remains a home of many African countries. Today, we have graduates from many African countries, and they include graduates from Kenya. We have graduates from Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Sudan, South Sudan, has blessed this occasion with his presence. You are most welcome. We have graduates from Somalia, from Democratic Republic of Congo, graduates from Nigeria, Djibouti, Costa Rica, Ethiopia, and finally, Uganda. Mr. Chancellor, allow me to make a few announcements as we get to the gist of this function. The pandemic is still with us, ladies and gentlemen, and it is our prayer that you keep the standard operating procedures, keep your mask on, wash your hands as many times as possible, and keep the social distance. I'd like also to announce that the places of convenience are on my right-hand side. That storied building, white in color, that's where you'll find all the places of convenience. And they are all on all the floors, the ground up to the last. Please, if you have not got it very well, you can still ask one of our ushers. You'll see them around. Mr. Chancellor, I also want to ask our students not to move or relocate the chairs, because where we have put them, that's where we want them to remain. At this moment, Mr. Chancellor, sir, I take the pleasure also to introduce myself to you, because I've been with you for a number of years, Mr. Chancellor. My name is Fred Tusime, a lecturer at St. Lawrence University in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. But today, special as it is, I'm not around to direct this function. I have a colleague, a medal winner, a personality who is known to all of us, and we shall be working together to direct this function. Now, graduates, I want you to join me with a hand clap as we welcome Mr. Samson Kasumba. He's also the director and a co-MC of this function. Is that enough, ladies and gentlemen? Can we welcome him again? Mr. Samson Kasumba, you are welcome. This is St. Lawrence University, and I'm sure these people are waiting to hear from you. Please take the floor.
A very good morning. Unfortunately, I don't have the headlines yet. But as the headlines come in, I will let you know. But I would like also to let you know that it is very, very probable that this function will make the top stories tonight. This is not NBS Live at 9. It is a graduation at St. Lawrence University. Education is meant to change praxis. It is very possible to go through classrooms and attend lectures and lectures and go back to the streets worse than you came into a university. So I'd like to appeal to you, especially those of you who are graduating today, that for as long as you hold the paperwork from this institution, it is expected that your praxis will change. Do not be like graduates and graduates from other universities who drive on our streets like they've never been educated. It is unfortunate to see an educated person seated on the border and breaking traffic rules as if they've never attended university. When you get a degree, one of the things that changes is how you solve problems. I still can't understand how somebody has a bachelor's degree or a master's degree majoring in accounts and audit, and they are still broke, and they want us to believe they graduated. How can you be graduated in health sciences and you have a family that is struggling with cholera? Mr. Chancellor, sir, I also stand on the protocol here and insist that I am Samson Kasumba and like to make note of some of the persons that are here with us this morning and intend to stay shortly after you've left. They come from majorly 4 or 5 sections. That is the diplomatic circles, the government circles, the business circles, the clergy, the friends, family, and those who have just received their paperwork. From the list I have here, I'd like to begin with His Excellency Simon Duku Michael from the youngest republic in the world, that's the Republic of South Sudan. Your Excellency, you're very, very welcome. Our South Sudanese here. I'd also like to make note of the presence of the Deputy Secretary General. There's a difference between secretary and secretary. I said Deputy Secretary General of the NRM, the Right Honorable Rose Namayanjan Sereko. Madam, you're very welcome as well, a sister of mine. I'd also like to make mention of the presence of the Chairperson District Service Commission from the gigantic Wakiso district. They are also welcome. We also have a Senior Education Officer, Higher Education, Neil Okulo, who is with us. We also have representation from Katavi Town Council, and we also do have a host of other dignitaries that we will be mentioning later on as the program rolls, because we are very cognizant of time. Keep your masks on if you can, for 2 reasons. You don't want to take the Omicron, or is it a Macron from your neighbor, or you don't want them to get yours. Even if it is true, I have noticed that for some reason, God has decided to forgive Africa of COVID. I was doing the news yesterday. Denmark, Germany, and many other nations in the world are struggling with COVID. But I think God has decided to COVID. Let me just call back Fred here walk us into the next bit of the program. This gentleman, Fred, is a very, very good gentleman. If you think that he has gained weight, then you need to see your optician already.
Thank you very much, senior journalist. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, it's time to constitute this gathering into the 12th congregation. And here I stand, through you, the Vice Chancellor. I ask the Chancellor to constitute this gathering into the 12th congregation. Could you please welcome the Vice Chancellor of this institution as he leads us into this great item on the agenda.
Hello? Mr. Chancellor, sir, I have the honor to invite you to constitute this assembly into the 12th congregation of St. Lawrence University. Thank you.
By virtue of authority vested in me, I constitute this assembly into the 12th congregation of St. Lawrence University for the purpose of awarding certificates, diplomas, and conferring degrees. I thank you.
We are now properly in that congregation, the 12th congregation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to relax a little. And we want to get a performance from crane performers. We relax and relax. It won't be a long one, but we surely need it. Crane performers, will you please give us one short piece as we proceed? Thank you.
reverend performers, thank you very much. One of the advantages of being an MC is sometimes you can have your way over certain things. I have enjoyed the music of the police band through the ages of the Great Okello in Nachivubo Stadium. That's where I began. And through many weddings over the 47 years I've existed. But through all their tunes, there is one particular one that I enjoy the most. And because I am the MC and there is nothing else you can do, I will make this request that the police band does play that favorite tune. It is a fantastic, fantastic tune. I am yet to understand the name of the tune. Maybe they will let me know what the name is. But it's that tune that goes ta 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 da 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 da. They know the tune. After that tune, it will relax our minds. Then I'll come and let you know what is happening next. Thank you very much. Give them a very big hand clap. Madame Regina Chibarama, CEO Charity for African Children's Education, is here. We also do have a representative of Bishop Stuart University. That is Charikunda Emily with us. We have Mrs. Mary Tenywa Sebadawo, the Senior Principal Banking Officer at the Bank of Uganda. And we also do have Mr. Ismail Nsubuga, who is journalist and newscaster, New Vision Group. For those of you who are parents here, who have children struggling with education, do not give up. According to Uganda Examination Board of 1984, that organization considers me a failure of Senior 6. Zig Ziglar has said that never allow the opinions of others to become your reality. In UNEB's records, I am a failure. But if you want to know what's wrong with those records, you just have to tune on your news and decide whether I sound and look like a failure or not. I think I just happen to know things that were not asked in that particular exam, and there were not few, to be honest. We do have a keynote speech, and that's the direction that we are going to move. But just before we do that, allow me to mention Professor Eddie Tukamshaba, who is the Vice Chancellor of UTAMU, that is Uganda Technology and Management University. He is with us. Brother Edson Kabaha, I'm going to bite my name here, but he is from Missionaries of the Poor. I am saving my tongue because there was just about one more try, and it will be in two pieces. Reverend Godfrey Ruswata, who is a member of the clergy from Namirembe Diocese. Then we do have Mr. Msoke Thaddeus Nagenda, who is also with us. And I do know that he is from Kasita, Uganda, Mpoma Royal College. And we do have Brother Thomas, who is also from the Missionaries of the Poor. And Dr. Prosperous Nankunda Kavma, Minister for Social Services and Education, that is the mighty Buganda Kingdom. Mr. Kwagwa Apollo, he's the Academic Register, Buganda Royal Institute of Business and Technological Education here in not Mengo, but Mengo. Honorable Josephine Nsazi Mlamata, Minister for Public Health, Environment and Education, Machinje Division, Urban Town Council, and Namsoke Irene, Senior Community Development Officer representing Town Clerk of Katabi Town Council. Mr. Mkasa Losius, he is a member of the 11th Parliament representing Rubaga South constituency. If you don't know where Rubaga South constituency is, you have 5 minutes to leave this place. The keynote speech will be delivered by Owechitiwa, Ambassador, Alhaj, Professor, Badru, Dungu, Katerega, He is the founding Vice Chancellor of Kampala University, and he is here to deliver the keynote speech for this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, the kind ones, just the kind ones, I didn't say everybody, just the kind ones, join me in putting your hands together to make welcome the keynote address and the speaker. I'm using the plural of majesty. Sirs, you're very welcome. That muted hand clap means that there are very few kind people here.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Chancellor of St. Lawrence University, His Excellency Edward Kiwanuka II, the Chairperson of the Board of Trustees, SLAV, the Chairperson and members of the University Council, the resident directors of SLAV, the Vice Chancellor, St. Lawrence University, Your Eminences, the religious leaders, Honorable Namayanja from the NRM Fiery, the staff and management of SLAV, beloved parents, guardians, sponsors, and spouses, you members of the press, our alumni, the Guild President and Guild Council, the graduates, our esteemed partners in various categories, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Assalamu alaikum. God is good, and all the time. Can you clap for God? Then clap for yourselves. Clap for the graduates. And for the Chancellor. Why not for the guest speaker? Thank you so much. It gives me great honor and pleasure to address you at such a time as this one. To all our graduates, today marks a defining moment of triumph and significance as you celebrate the climax and completion of a journey that started over a decade and a half ago or so. It is a journey that has taken several years of labor and sacrifice from you and those who have contributed to your success along the way. I congratulate you all upon this milestone and the momentous achievement. It is a privilege for me to be with you as the guest speaker. Others, you can call me guest of honor. It is a question of semantics. Today, as we celebrate this auspicious occasion, marking the 12th graduation ceremony of St. Lawrence University. Whenever I come here, I feel delighted and pleased with the love, the care, and the trust the leadership of this great university has in me. All this brings back the fond memories and valuable time I spent with my late brother, Professor Lawrence Mukibi, whom I taught at Makerere in the early 1970s, before many of you were born, and with whom I worked for many years within and outside the country. Indeed, we had a lot in common with Professor Mukibi. May his soul rest in eternal bliss. The late Professor Lawrence Mukibi was a practical visionary who always dreamed big. He acted big and fulfilled a very big mission. He was a man of firm conviction who lived in the future of his times, a man who taught thousands of lives, who always made a difference, who added value and created a lasting impact on humanity. I vividly recall the day he consulted me about the idea of starting his own university. I looked into his eyes, and he seemed determined, committed, focused, enthusiastic, and ready to do business. He was unstoppable. I just asked him about the nature of the university he had in mind, and he confidently answered that he wanted to set up a modern, state-of-the-art, entrepreneurial, and transformational university driven by computer technology. Indeed, he achieved his mission in his lifetime by setting up a unique university of his choice. A university that has stood the test of time, COVID-19 notwithstanding. A university for which is the very reason why we are here today. In the person of the late Professor Lawrence Mukibi, we see a magnification of a man with the magic of thinking big, which also helped him to live big. Professor Mukibi lived big. He associated with big people, like myself, like your chancellor, like all those who are here. The man lived big and achieved big. And my message today is that you start living big, and the sky will be the limit. Mr. Chancellor, sir, permit me at this juncture to remind or to recommend to the family, the leadership and management of St. Lawrence University to set aside a special day in the university calendar for a mass and a memorial lecture or lectures to be held annually in commemoration of the life and contribution of the founder of St. Lawrence University, St. Lawrence colleges, schools, and academies, the late Professor Lawrence Mukibi. That would be one sure way of maintaining his legacy. Thank you, those who have remembered it club. I also call upon the government of the Republic of Uganda to appreciate further and accord due recognition to the late Professor Lawrence Mukibi for his great contribution to Uganda's education sector. There was a theme for today, and our founder is part of that theme. Tertiary institutions' performance in sustainable management of pandemics. The challenges facing universities before, during, and maybe after COVID-19 have not gone away. And they will continue now that we have new mutations, Omicron, Macaroni, or whatever you want to call it. However, the pandemic has also shown us that the education sector can still adapt at a pace. Education can now live inside with COVID-19. Therefore, institutions, including SLAU, should move towards sharing resources and collaborating with their so-called competitors, building networks, creating education, embracing the digital platforms, promoting blended learning and teaching, and conducting digital research and innovation if they are to sustainably manage the pandemic and cope with the fourth industrial revolution. That's the way to go. So I commend the management of Slough for their resilience, for their wise guidance and proper direction taken to sustain this wonderful institution through the challenging times of what we call the new normal. On the same note, I also congratulate the university for holding 2 successful blended graduation ceremonies during this COVID-19 pandemic. You have done very well. People call them COVID graduations, but what is important is that you have graduated. I have just a few small things to add, wise counsel to you graduates. As you prepare for life after school, the life in the real world, and the life of party after party, I would like to leave you with a few important tips that will hopefully help you think positively and cope with the real challenges of the world. One of the tips is a positive attitude. Whereas the labor market